right, hello everybody. I'm doing a unusual video time, but I just got those windows installed, and the outside, or the exterior, if you want to talk about it that way, of Camper 8.0 is complete. Meaning if I put this bad boy outside and it rained, it would be waterproof. So that's a pretty big milestone, and let's go ahead and talk about it. So in the last video, I had finished the exterior finish, which is this dark brown, this beautiful dark rich brown that you guys see here. But on top of that, I wanted to apply, or once I got the finish on, there was a lot of things I had to add on after the fact, which would do the completed exterior, and we've got that done. So from here, the next stage of the build, which is the latter stage of the build, and in fact, I would argue at this point we're probably 60 to 70% done of the overall build, is the interior. But let's go ahead and talk about what I've done and where I'm at. So first and foremost is the windows right there. These are an acrylic window, meaning that they're double pane. And in a little bit later, I'll show you how they pop out, but they actually extend outward. There is an internal trim kit, which of course is not installed yet because I haven't built out the interior, which has a screen and a full covering. I use these windows on Camper 7.0, if you followed that portion of the build, and I really liked them, and they really worked out. So we got those windows installed. If we come around here to the front, it's a little dark down here, but it'll be good enough. I put the front window, and that is centered in such a way that when it's slid open, it will line up with the center opening of the window for the cab of my pickup truck. Not big enough to be a pass-through where your body could go through, but you could definitely reach through, or be able to look through that rear window and through the front window of the truck and have some observational capabilities to the front of the camper if you're back there hanging out. This window back here is just a simple shed window. I like the shed windows. It does have a screen. It does slide open. They have a classic look. They're a little light. They're inexpensive. They're lightweight. They're a little small for the sides, or at least in my opinion. And when you orient them horizontally, if they were exposed to direct rain, sometimes they can have very minor leaks. Of course, this is under the cab over, so I'm not too concerned about that. Let's go down here. Okay, so I went ahead and since I got the coating on, I put on the attachment mechanisms. So what you guys see right here is a transom style ratchet strap, okay? And there is a center structural column right there, and there is a big 1/2-inch bolt that goes through the base of that ratchet strap. Let me zoom in a little bit here so you guys can see a little closer. And it attaches to that main structural member. And then what this will do is you can, of course, extend this hook, and this will hook in the corner of the bed of my pickup truck that has a little hook there, and that will pull it tight. Now this is specific to my pickup truck, but I added a little extension here. The bed of my truck actually kind of jettisons inwards a little bit, so that little extension that you guys see right here, that will latch into that. So when this pulls forward, it's going to actually pull the camper forward, and that will lock it in place. I'll put a little rubber bumper on there later. This was in place last week, I believe. These are those little hatches that will allow me access to the ratchet strap to tighten it down and loosen it up as needed. So that's going to be very secure. Over here, I put in this hook, and that's of course bolted through the structural column there. And there will only be, when this is in the truck itself, there will only be a 3-inch gap from that trim piece to the edge of the truck bed. But that should be enough room for me to put in a turnbuckle, which I will use to latch down and secure the rear. All right, so the rear, I installed a bunch of things. Let's kind of roll over here, and we will talk about all of those. Okay. So probably of significance is you guys saw the door, but now the door is installed. and I was very pleased with how that turned out. I talked about the porthole before, but now it is officially installed. Over to your right, that is the AC pod. I had some comments about people asking why I didn't just put a grate in this front area, which is actually not a bad idea. I chose to put this little utility door. I think it looks a little nicer. I think you guys can imagine if somebody just saw this and didn't know I had an AC in there, they would probably think that that's just a little utility storage area. And plus it also blocks it up from some of the elements. Now this door is not dramatically sealed, but it's certainly better than if it was just an open grate. The AC is in place, and you guys can see here that's a nice tight fit there. And then when you shut this door, it nice and securely covers up that AC. Of course, we got our vents on the top and all the sides, which will allow for the intake of fresh air. So I thought that was pretty nice. Down below, I've got the Rotopax mount officially mounted, and I've got two 2-gallon containers. So I've got 4 gallons of capacity of fuel, water, whatever you want to put there. Of course, they're color-coded. The red is for fuel and the white is for water. Up here, this is a outside light. That's the same kind of light that I used on the van, which I really like. Talked about this last week, but now it's installed. I've got my single quick set combination lock, which works out really well. And on this side, I've got a brake light, and I forgot to mention it, but over here, I've got another brake light, and I will, when I do the internal wiring, I will tie all that in with via the trailer plug-in, so therefore when I turn on the turn signals or hit the brake light, plus these will also function as running lights. I'll have some running lights high up in the camper. It's safety, plus also if I carry my motorcycle, make sure that my brake lights are more visible. Up here, this is that 8-inch, this will function as my vent for the internal part of the camper. As opposed to having a rooftop vent, which I didn't want to do because I didn't want to disrupt the aerodynamics of the roof. I chose to use one of these 8-inch ones. A little bit of a compromise. They certainly won't pull the CFMs of a rooftop model, but, you know, compromises are compromises. And finally, off to the side here, you guys can see that I put in a shovel. And the rationale behind that is, well, shovels are very useful. I think it kind of complements the aesthetic of this back end here. And also, I would typically run a shovel in between here and the bed rails. But this will be a pretty tight opening between the width here. So, big milestone though, guys. I think all of these accessories, and I think, at least to me, I think the black looks really nice, contrasted against the dark wood. Oops. And I think the camper is looking really sharp. Let's kind of circle around, take a look at it from the front here. But we are coming along. So the next step of the build is the interior, and we're making good progress, and I'm very happy. So thanks for watching, guys, and as always, let me know what you think. I do have a couple comments I have to respond to, so if you left a comment in the past video and I have not responded, I'm not ignoring you. I will respond shortly. And if you have any additional questions or comments, or just let me know what you guys think in general, go ahead and post it here. So thanks, guys, for all of your support and watching, and we'll catch you next time.